Good morning. This is a short video to allow you to visualize what will happen when you return to church, hopefully next Sunday, the 30th of August. And if that is the case, please indicate to Dawn by Friday the 28th of August at 1 p.m. And the details are given on the screen, both her email and also the church's telephone number. Please indicate if you intend to come next week. Sports people talk about visualization when they talk about what they anticipate happening in the real event. So this is a way of walking and talking through what to anticipate when we return to church next week. And hopefully the wind and the rain won't be part of the picture. Our capacity is probably 46 in the sanctuary because of the restrictions, and possibly another 23 or so in the welcome area as overflow, giving us the grand total of something like 70 people. A few common sense things. Obviously, if you're showing symptoms of COVID or any of the other common sense health advice that's out there, please do not attempt to come back to church yet until the coast is clear. Once you've parked your car and are approaching the church, you'll find, as you can see over my shoulder, that you will be asked to keep 2 meters distance, and we will be having signage on the ground to allow you to measure out the 2 meters. And please don't linger and loiter, and also please plan to come as early as you can so that we can accommodate the people coming through seamlessly as possible. Once you get here, you will be greeted by the reception team. They will be wearing masks, and that is the recommendation and encouragement of the denomination as well as 2 meters distance and masks. You will be also allowed to use hand sanitizers as you enter. You won't be given an order of service. We're trying to keep the contact of those kind of things to a bare minimum. And once you come in, you will be led by the reception team to a designated seat. I know we all tend to have our favourite seats, creatures of habit, but you will be led to a seat, and there really is no room for negotiation on that. And you'll see later in the video how singles, how couples and how family units can be spaced in the church. Every other pew can be used, and there is a 4 metre distance from the minister to anyone else, so that quite restricts us on the number of people and the spacing. We are having a one-way system operated in the church, and you will be led first of all downstairs and then some people upstairs. And when you exit, you will be led by the reception team how to do that. There will be no Bibles or hymn books or other materials in the church. Those have been stored away, so everything on the service will be shown on the screen. We know that these are strange restrictions and measures that have been put in place, but nonetheless we will try to do church the same, only different, with the prayer and the hope that as soon as possible we can return to a lifting of the restrictions and something approaching what was our previous norm. But in the meantime, if you do intend to come, please indicate to Dawn. Maybe one further point I should make is that whilst it is a requirement or a recommendation or an encouragement to wear a mask, if you have some condition that means that you can't wear a mask, we will of course make allowances and will understand that that is the case. I think those are most of the details that have been given, so please let Dawn know by next Friday at 1 o'clock your intention to come, and we look forward to seeing you next Sunday or in subsequent weeks. I talked earlier about visualization when you come to the real event, envisaging what you may experience and see. So this gives you an indication of what the sanctuary will look like, with some people populating the area. You'll notice that every other pew can only be used. We have to respect the 2 metre distancing, that worshippers will be recommended and encouraged to wear face masks. There will be a minimal amount of singing, perhaps 2 praise items, and it will be a shorter service. We have removed the literature such as Bibles and hymn books and also response cards from the pews, just to keep the contact of surfaces to a bare minimum. And all the details for the service will be also processed on the screens for you to watch and follow that way. You'll notice that there are various scenarios that are being embodied behind me. If a pew is occupied by individuals, it has to be single individuals at either end of a pew. You can have a family sitting together as a unit, and also you can have a husband and wife. But this probably restricts us to about 46 people in the sanctuary. And as an overflow facility, we have the welcome area. That probably gives us another 22, 23. So maximum we can accommodate next Sunday, the 30th of August, roughly 70 people. In subsequent weeks, we hope to expand that by using other parts of the premises, but that's for further weeks down the line. And when the service finishes, do please stay where you are, and the ad hoc reception team who have greeted you earlier will give you further instructions. We follow a one-way system of exiting the church. People downstairs here in the sanctuary will be led over to my left to the door, which is over near where the communion table where is kept. You will exit through the ward door. And if you haven't placed your offering in the offering plate in the vestibule coming in, you can place your offering there on the way out. Another detail about exiting from the church, you will be led by the reception team. Those who are sitting up in the gallery, and again limited numbers there, with the front row unoccupied, please note that you will be led out a different way. You will be led down to the vestibule and will exit from the one door that people have entered in earlier. So that will be a different way of exiting. And another feature that you will find strange, but we have to comply with, is that as the preacher or speaker at the front, there needs to be a 4-meter distance between me and anybody else. So that actually quite restricts our ability to have people anywhere near the front of the church. We can have Diane playing the organ. We can have maybe a very few people where the choir normally meets, but that is quite restrictive. So please also bear that strange scenario in mind in these strange times. I know there are many constraints, and this will seem the same, only different, and there are many things we would like to be different, but please bear with us as we move into this new phase and experiment and do as best we can what it means to gather and worship in this new setting in the midst of the pandemic. We wish you well, God bless you, and hope to see you next week or soon after beyond.